everyone! Today we're gonna review the game Flamecraft. Hey fiddlers! What we have here is the game Flamecraft. It is a cute artisan dragon game. It's a worker placement game designed by Manny Vega, published by Cardboard Alchemy. And we have our members in the community.
I'm Marc with a K.
You can call me Dave or David.
Oh, I'm Mark, by the way.
Yeah, they're
Forgot to
both
say
Marks.
that. Mark with a C.
Hi, my name is Dan.
And I'm Martin.
All right. And by the way, before we proceed, please like and subscribe to this video so you can see, other videos like this. So, we're going to talk about different things about this game today. Am I right?
Yep.
Yeah, we're going to talk about artwork, we're going to talk about our theme, the complexity of this game, and of course, the overall experience, who is this game for, and final thoughts later on. So I think we can begin with the artwork, right? For me, the artwork here is really outstanding. Okay, it really fits the theme of cute dragons doing things in society, right? So what do you guys think?
And I have to agree with that. This is one of the most cutest and adorable games I've ever played.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a graphic designer by profession, and I gotta say that Sandara Tang, you rock this. I mean, the world building, everything, the components, so beautiful. It really brings out the little kid in me.
I also like the colors in this game. It's very light to the eyes. It's very appealing.
Yeah.
And I totally agree because when David here sent me the link of this board game, I immediately bought it. I was just planning to buy the retail version, but if you see, this is the deluxe version.
Disclaimer.
It immediately made me buy it.
Yeah.
I mean, we even have those plushies here. We have plushies like.
So disclaimer, by the way, folks, this is the deluxe version. So components might be a bit different when it comes to retail.
Yeah.
But I have to agree with the vibrant colors there. Yeah. The colors really pop out in each art, in the shops, in the cards. And when you look at each card, you can see how fun they are. Like, for instance, each dragon card has its own personality, right?
Yeah.
With its own name, and the artwork from one dragon to another is also a bit different. Wouldn't you guys agree?
And
Yeah.
I have to add something to that. For example, we have the bread dragon here who's working in the bake shop. The leaf dragon is working in the garden, and all the other dragons as well. So that's one of the fun components of this game.
That's true.
They each have functions.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, even back to world building, like it's like I said before, it's been amazing. Like even this dragon here, it's called a bread dragon. Like, where do you see a dragon made out of bread? Or I don't know if it's made out of bread, but yeah.
A bread dragon that works in critical roles.
Oh.
Fun there, right?
Fun. That is name.
Yeah, and if you look at the resources, the wooden components are great. Even the inserts are great, right? So you could really see the effort of Cardboard Alchemy in the production here. Even the coins are nice to touch, right?
The gold coins feels real.
I would like also to add that the icons in these games are not too big, not too small.
Yeah.
They can be read easily and understood easily.
That's true.
Yeah. Cards are really. It's easy to read.
Yeah, so there's no problem in terms of reading the cards across the table. But maybe except for some cards who are in the park, for instance, and if you're, sitting in the other side of the table. Yeah.
So you'll have to stand up and look for that shop in the other side of the game.
Yeah. But when it comes to other things like the player guide, I also like the player guide,
Yeah.
because the steps are also outlined well.
Mm-hmm.
And aside from that one, the shops with different, dynamic art are also nice, even with the advanced shops later on.
Yeah.
I also want to mention the mat. It is really good.
That
That
is true.
they made this instead of like a board.
Cardboard.
Yeah.
Cardboard.
Like a normal
They
board.
it's a really good decision that they made with this mat. It's really wonderful and very portable.
Yeah, and I think even the retail version
Even the
has
retail
this, right?
version has this. Yeah. I think the only difference with Kickstarter and retail is they have these dragons over here are wooden meeples, and
That's
the
true.
resources are made out of cardboard.
Yeah.
Even the coins.
I think it's cubes. Yeah. These ones are cubes.
Oh,
they're
oh.
cubes.
Yeah.
I thought they were like cardboards, coin. cardboard coins. You punch out cardboards.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
We'll have to check it out.
Yeah, I think I remember because we have a friend here from the community. His name is Philip, and he has a game. Wait, not Philip. Frank. He has a game,
Yeah.
retail version, and he kind of covered his resources with those plastic
Coin
coin
capsule.
capsules. Yeah,
Oh.
and it feels good as well. If you're fiddly with your components when you play a game.
Yeah.
You can stack it.
Yeah.
Play with it.
That's true. So anything else about components, artwork, general production?
I think we've been talking. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
I like one of the things I like about this game, the gameplay of the game, is that at the start you don't have that much things to do, but as
Yeah.
the game progresses, you have much more things to do. You can combo well.
That's true.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
kind of snowballs as you
Yes.
go along the game, right?
Yeah, as the game progresses.
Yeah. And it really integrates well into the theme. Okay, if you think about it, each dragon has different roles. Like for example, meat dragons, if you look at the ability of the meat dragon, it brings dragons into town, right?
Yeah.
Just like when dragons
Yeah.
smell meat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And-
It's thematic. Yeah.
And it's kind of different from how other games use dragons. Because here, the dragons are cute, they're workers, they basically help
yes.
people.
I agree.
Yeah, as compared to other games where dragons are more
Very
mean
family
and
friendly,
vicious, right?
Yes.
Aside from that, what do you guys think about the theme and how well it's integrated into the gameplay?
It's quite different from the other dragons.
That's true.
Yeah. I think. Do you have any more to add?
I don't think so.
Because I think we've been talking a lot of pros
Opo.
about what we think about the game. How about the cons? Like, what do you not like about the game?
I gotta highlight the one thing Mark said earlier, that people would be standing up and going around the board just to see the abilities of the
Yeah, because
Stars.
of how the
board.
Board is built, like-
yeah.
so long.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe one of the cons that I can give to this game is, maybe for some it's a pro, but I can say na this game is colorful.
Mhm.
So maybe for people that are not that are having a hard time differentiating between colors, it can get overwhelming for them.
Mhm.
So maybe that's one of the cons that I can say.
Yeah, there's no aids for people who are colorblind.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true.
There's no way.
So, aside from that, what else can we say about your overall experience in this game?
I think the game is just too short.
The game is too short for
Yeah.
you.
I mean, guys, before we started reviewing this, we actually played one round, and like it was really fast.
One game.
Yeah, one game. Yeah, not one round, one game. It went by really fast.
Yes.
I think it has something to do with the player count as well. Yeah.
Oh, right, yes.
I played this game at 2-3 players. It
Ah,
was,
true.
Yeah, lengthier than
Yeah.
our game.
Since
I
one of
see,
the
yeah.
end game trigger points is like once all the cards run out, right?
Yes.
Dragon cards.
But that's a very good point. Yeah, at some point in our game a while ago, I was like, how can I make this game a little bit longer? Right? Since we were enjoying. Yeah.
I think that's also one of the cons for this game because maybe it will be lighter to some players,
That's true.
especially
Yes.
for players who's really used to heavy Euro stuff. But if you just like a chill game where you can play with casual friends, family, then
And even with your kids, right?
yeah, even with your kids.
If you have kids.
I agree because this is my first time playing it with a 5-player game, and it's different from a 4-player game because in a 4-player game you get to reach 50 points or more. With that,
That's true. Yeah,
that's
with the
true.
5-player
Yeah.
game, it's kind of hard to reach that point since a lot of you are doing a lot of stuff, and it's not that easy, which makes it more challenging. But it depends on you. But for me, the sweet spot would be around 4
4
players.
players.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 players. I would agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else? How about the goals of the game? How about the variable player powers? What do you guys think about that?
Variable player powers.
Or shop powers? What do you guys think?
One mechanics of the game that I really like. Let's say this game is kind of like Euro, is the positive interaction.
That's
So,
true.
Instead of for Euro, usually like it penalize the players when you do
Yeah.
this and you do this. But in this game, for example, you share a space with another dragon instead of penalizing that player, he just gives something to the dragon. And for there's mechanics that wherein if you gave this certain goods to this player will gain score. So in a way, it's a positive interaction leading you to do this for other players and helping you as well.
That's
yeah,
true.
there's a reward system.
There's less take that in this game.
Yes,
yeah,
that's
really,
the-
it's
that's the
friendly.
way-
Yeah, it's friendly.
I-
And
Friendly in a way.
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
really aligns with the art and the presentation of the
This
dragons.
is not a war game.
So if you're a competitive player, this game maybe not for you. Or if you can also make this game competitive if you're that kind
Actually, yes.
of player. Which is I think I am.
And I also really like how when you go to certain shops, you make it more powerful, right?
Yes.
Unlike in other worker placement games where the spots don't really become different throughout the game. In
yeah.
here, when you go to a certain shop and you lay down a dragon, other players could have more powerful turns.
Yes.
They could
Oh,
benefit
okay.
with that.
So
It's true.
I really like how the design works because it snowballs.
Yeah.
Okay. And then later on, when you have many shops, you can then make more crunchier decisions.
Yeah.
So I have to add with that. This may be look like a kid's game, but this you have to make as your strategy to be as good as like playing as an adult.
Yeah. As
Yeah,
efficient
even if
as you can.
it's a
Yeah.
light game, there's also a little strategy involved. So
Yeah,
that's
talking
good,
about the
yeah.
strategy, I love it because you can think in advance on where you want to
Yes.
put your dragons and all. But the challenging part is if someone takes your enchantment card ahead first, where it's gonna be more challenging. But if you're the one who took that enchantment card, then sabotaging someone else is gonna be the most
I
fun
guess
part.
that's where the take that
Take that.
Yeah. Take
part of
that
the game
mechanic.
But
takes
there's
place.
Yeah, but there's a part in the game where those mechanics are like limited, or like you can use what is the fancy dragon to not do that. Instead, this other player gains something instead of more take that.
Yeah, so just to let you know, there are two types of dragon cards in the game. There's the fancy dragons and the
Artisan dragons.
artisan dragons. So fancy dragons are like
Private goals.
private goals, yeah, end game goals, or goals that you can achieve during the
Sure.
game. So,
While artisan dragons are dragons you can put down in certain shops for you to be able to get resources and other benefits.
yeah, so that gives you more perspective on what you need to do during the game.
And I also really like the variability of the goals, especially since this game comes with two decks of separate goals. There's a purple deck and a gold deck, right?
Yeah.
Where
yeah.
if you have more experience in this game, you could use the gold deck for more tricky goals and more powerful turns, right? However, I'd like to add on to what you said a while ago. This game might be too short in some cases,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I sometimes find myself wanting more, like wanting more shops on the board or wanting more, dragons to put out, especially since this artisan deck is quite limited. Right?
Yeah, I think that's what made the game really fast because of the player count. We kept on drawing new artisan dragon cards.
That's true.
Yeah, because once the artisan dragon
Runs
runs
out,
out,
yeah.
the game ends. It's very short for me.
Yeah. And one thing I also found about the game, which I think for me is a con, is in terms of the fancy dragons, some fancy dragons are more powerful than the others. Right? There are some fancy dragons here which are easier to achieve.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there are some fancy dragons which
Yeah.
are harder to get, right? So sometimes you can get lucky. You can win the game by having a certain set of fancy dragons, and other players will just have harder goals to fulfill.
I think that's one of the main draw of the game to not take the game as competitive as it is. Like one of the shop actually lets you make points by pushing your luck.
That's true.
So you
Yeah,
flip a
like-
coin. If you get heads, you gain a point. If you don't, you lose the
You
point.
lose the coin,
So
yeah.
in a way, if you're not a competitive player, this game might really not be for you.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, I also I think it's a really good gateway game though.
That's true.
It is.
Like it's for me. I don't know with you guys or for others. It's a good gate. It's on the level with Ticket to Ride.
Yeah.
As a gateway game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
For me, it's a bit more complex, but around that
Oh,
range,
yeah.
right? It's kind of light to mid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
ultimate
like
game.
to me.
Yeah.
I have to add with Dave, it's a kind of a gateway game because for example my wife's really not into games, but when we play this during our one of our few game nights, he won the game by loving the game. I don't know if that makes sense, but he
Loving
loves
the dragons.
loving the dragons. He loved the game so much that he usually don't decide it by just playing the game just to
I
just to win.
remember.
So she win the game by really being into the game. So in a
I
way, in a way, it's a
Her
good game.
mindset was like, what's best for this dragon?
Yes.
What's best for my dragon?
She's in the world.
Well, that really speaks to the theme of the game,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes, it does.
The theme
could
really
be-
immerses you into the world.
Once again,
Yeah.
heads up, Sandara Tang and Manny Vega, like, and also to
Cardboard Alchemy.
for publishing the game.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. Well, what else? Do you
And
have something to add?
talking about experience, my first time experience playing this game was really fun. My wife and I played this game with my cousins, and it was really good. We played it again, and yeah, it doesn't get boring quickly. But my experience first time playing it, especially with you guys, which added a bit of spice to the game. There's some negotiation going on.
Under the table.
Although technically, folks, there's no negotiation in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, we enjoy playing negotiation games.
Yeah.
So like we just try to like Mark said earlier, there's a card there that allows you to give a resource to another player, but in return, you gain points.
Oh.
That's true.
That's
There's lots of
good.
positive
Yeah.
interaction.
So
That's true.
during that game, we kind of negotiated like which player should I give this resource to, and like
Yeah, I would agree with both of you and what you said, because I got my girlfriend into this game, and usually she doesn't like too heavy games because there's lots of things in her mind with work going on and so. But
yeah.
she had space for this game, which was really interesting. Okay, it's not too simple, but it's also not too heavy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, aside from that one, I also like the fact that there are multiple ways to score in this game, right? Aside from the private goals, you could focus on the shops. You could focus on the leaf dragons
Yes.
and how they interact with other players, giving the goods for points.
Yeah.
And of course, you could also look into the fancy dragons, right? So there's different ways to score, and every game will feel a bit different. Something though that is a con for me is that sometimes the shops that are drawn can be random. Some shops are too powerful. Some shops are not too powerful. And so if I get to open a shop, it's the next player who gets to benefit from that.
Yeah.
And I can't do anything about it, right?
And also for the randomness of the shop, there's this you can create broken combos broken combos from the game, especially if you're the first player, wherein you can use this shop and then use this other shop to make combos that can't be available for other players since they're leaning to other ways of gaining points.
That's
So
true.
that's just one of my cons also.
Yeah, and I also would have loved to see a different set of dragons. Because
True,
each
yeah.
kind
True,
of
true,
dragon
true.
has the same ability. So if you have flame dragons, they do the same thing.
Yeah.
Leaf dragons, they do the same thing. But once you get to like 5 to 6 plays, eventually that can get a little bit repetitive, redundant.
yeah.
So another set of dragons would have really been interesting, right? For advanced play.
I kind
Me
of have
too,
to agree
yeah.
to that.
That's true.
So for us that are kind of competitive players, so so those games really those rules really spices up the games for us. But if you're just a casual player, this for example this same power for dragons works for them as well.
Yeah.
What
How
do you
about
guys think?
You
Yeah.
guys.
I think everyone covered everything.
Yeah, like I don't know why, but maybe it's personal bias, but I mean, there's more pros to this for me than cons. I don't know with you guys, but
I would have to agree with that.
Yeah.
There's definitely more pros than cons. Final thoughts?
Thoughts.
Overall, what do you guys think of the game? So, let's give a rating from 1 to 5.
1 to 5. Yeah.
5 being perfect. This
Yeah.
is gonna be like top 5 in your
Something
shelf.
you'd keep, in your shelf.
One, something that you shouldn't buy. So what do you guys think?
3.8 or 4.
A 3.8.
Yes,
Oh.
around that.
Okay, that's
3.8
not bad,
is
yeah.
good.
Okay. This game for me is a solid 4. So first, this is a solid light to mid game. So this can be a gateway for some, but an advanced play for some, for others. I don't have this game yet in my shelf, but now that I've played this again, I'm thinking of purchasing this, and I can see that this can get back to the table from time to time. So that's just and the only draw for me for this game is maybe after many plays that again this game can get repetitive.
Yeah.
That's true.
But that's just my thought. So 4 out of 5.
So yeah, for me, I agree. But mine would be 5 because for me, I see myself getting this game from time to time. Not always, but I can see this playing with my friends, with you guys, with my cousins, with my wife, and then maybe in the future, if I have kids, I can see this getting out of the shelf and playing this, since it's really easy to teach.
Yes.
Since you only have like 2 actions,
Yeah.
so it's really easy to fix, put it into the box, and the game is just for me, it's not too long and not too short. It's just perfect for the way it is, especially the theme that with the dragons, and it's not really more on battling or having war. It's just a friendly, it's just a friendly game. So yeah,
Friendly
I can
game,
see
I would
this,
say.
I can see this game. I can refer this to anyone that is into the hobby or
Looking for
looking forward to going into the hobby. So yeah, that's my rate.
You, Dave?
Interesting. I don't have a copy of the game, but if I had a deluxe copy, I'd give it a 5.
Wow.
But no, I don't have the and I think there's no deluxe available. I think, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I think there.
Maybe you can find it Amazon. I don't know.
It's probably, but
I don't think there is.
well, yeah, I think still though, honestly, I'd give it a 4, a solid 4 or a 4.5, like because I mean I don't imagine myself playing this all the time, but yeah, like Mark said here, that I think from time to time we can put it on the table, lay it out, just for after a long day at work.
yes.
It's
Or
a good
after a
game.
heavy game.
Yes,
Definitely,
very heavy
definitely,
game.
definitely. Well, for me, I'd have to give it a 3.5. Well, 3.5's not bad,
Yeah.
but I'd have to agree with you guys. Every now and then, I can see this game on my table, playing with some friends, especially when we have family or relatives over. Yeah.
Very good.
This game is quite accessible, but for my heavy gamer friends, this can get quite redundant after a while.
We would like to see more.
Yeah, I'd love to see more variability, maybe in a future expansion. Yeah, I'd
Some
also
dragons eating dragons.
maybe
No.
maybe in the future more mechanics when it comes to individual dragons, more player powers. I think those things would bump it up
Yeah,
to a
that's
4
fair.
or
Yeah.
4.5 for
That's
me.
fair.
Yeah, but for now, as it is, I'd have to give it a 3.5.
I mean, just to add, like one of the reasons why I gave a 4 as well was because of the art, honestly. Because I'm a
Yes, that's
designer and
true.
I like
The art
putting
is good.
beautiful art on my walls or shelves. So this is worth it.
Yes.
yeah,
It's really
Sorted,
one of the
yeah.
main pull of the game. Like for example, for Martin, like he bought this just from the art, so the art's really beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'd
We
have to
really
agree.
have to highlight
That's
that.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Production-wise, the artwork is nice. Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous game. So I think that's our thoughts overall, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening and tune in to our next videos. So don't forget to like and subscribe so that you get the notification if another video comes up. And I hope to see you in our community or hope to see you someday in our gaming table. So thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.